welcome to Dreametive YouTube channel, and on today's video we're gonna learn about how to set up Windows Active Directory on your on-premise server and also on virtual machine. And as organization keeps growing, it's very necessary for them to manage the user as well as the devices, so they need something like centralized user access and right management as well as centralized control over computer and user configuration through the AD group policy and feature, and they're gonna configure the Active Directory, right? So I'm gonna configure an Active Directory to show you how you can create user and access the device that has been domain joined to your Active Directory. Right now I'll do an RDP to my newly launched EC2 virtual machine, and this is the password that I'm logging through, and it's gonna take a lot of time for you to enter into your desktop. And after quite a long wait, you can see your desktop, and I'm gonna ignore this network notification and search for server manager. And from server manager I'll just click and then I'll go to this add roles and features. Before that, let me just ignore this notification, and now I click on add roles and features, and for this pop-up notification just do say yes, and from here these are the steps that you have to follow. So right now I'll just click on next. It's a role-based or feature-based installation. This is my machine with the correct IP, no doubt there, and then next. And from here, Hyper-V is not required currently. I'll just click on Active Directory Domain Services, and once that I'll just click on next, and from here I'm gonna also check on .NET Framework 3.5 features, and once that add is this notification, and then okay, so it's started to install. And once this roles has been added, it's gonna take about 3 minutes for the installation, so you have to wait for a long time. And from here, once done, I just close this, and you can see this alert notification. And once this feature installation is done, I'll click on post deployment configuration, and here I'm going to click on add a new forest, and this would be the root domain, that is dreametive.com. So my Active Directory is dreametive.com, and from here I'll just leave for the default level, and I'm gonna give some password. So the password has been set. Create DNS delegation, and from my case it cannot be created and it's currently not required. And the NetBIOS domain name will be auto generated according to your domain name, so that is Dreametive. By default it was generated, or you can change it. And then this database folder, log files, and this volume folders, there are certain path. You can just keep it to the default and just copy this and paste it on the notepad. So once that's done, you can click on next. And the prerequisites check is very important. So you can see that it says we can proceed and it's successful, and ignore this alert notification and click on next. So installation is in process, and this also will take some time. And now I click on close, and once I say close, it will auto restart. So restart is in process, and once restart, even if you try to do RDP, the system is rebooting, so you cannot actually do RDP. It will take about 5 minutes. So 5 minutes later, I'll try to do this RDP as administrator. Currently I'm just doing RDP with this particular credential where I just forgot to copy the credentials, so I had to each time generate it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a user, and that user password, whatever I keep, I'll just paste it so that I don't have to generate each time that I have to say the password of administrator. But it's very important to always save your local credential. Whenever you create Active Directory, it's most common for you to log in with the user or administrator or admin credential, but it's always a very good practice that you have your local user credential. So I'll go to Server Manager, and then I'll go to Tools. I'll click on Active Directory Users and Computers, and you can see that Dreametive.com Active Directory is all set. And I'll just click on right click, next, and user. So this way you're going to add user to your Active Directory, and the first user under Dreametive would be Aishwarya, and user logon name would be aishwarya@dreametive.com. So the password would be something very simple, which is actually not at all good. You should always keep a strong password. Don't do that in Dreametive. It's not a good practice. And now I had to add this user to a group, right? So here I'm gonna go to Aishwarya, and I'm gonna click on add to a group, and I'm gonna click on A and then check names, or you can just simply give administrator, and here I'm gonna select administrator. So currently this user has administrator role, and I can create multiple users and log into any of the devices, like the domain join devices, with any of the credentials. So right now the password is still available, but I'm gonna log in as Aishwarya. I click on more choices, use a different account, and Aishwarya@dreametive.com. It's not going to take a lot of time once you create user, and I just gave my password. I'm good to log in my server with the user Aishwarya, and you can always check which user you have logged in from the server. So you go to settings, and there your info just pops up. So this is it about Active Directory. I believe this video was helpful. If yes, please like this video as well as share and subscribe for more.